It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Wednesday Travel and Cruise Industry News podcast on this, the second day of October 2024, coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia. Seasonal weather, it's had a little bit of rain yesterday, not a whole lot. Was able to get out and run a couple errands, had to go pick up prescriptions and that kind of thing. And then I came back and literally got in my chair and I woke up at dinner time. I mean, I was out all afternoon. And I slept pretty good last night, too. So you think I've been up all night. Yeah, no. So I guess hot air time just wore me out a little more than I would want to admit. So he did that. All right. So we do have some headlines today. Not as much in the way of news as there was yesterday. Of course, I'm not making up for lost time as I was yesterday. But the lead story today is the strike will not affect cruise operations. So that's some good news for the cruise community. V Odyssey update. I said, wait till you hear this one. CBD issues at JFK. A little firsthand information for you. NCL changes specialty dining pricing. More Carnival alterations, and $7 million from New Orleans. Wow. Anthem sailing delayed. And lots more here at 11 o'clock today. That's 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Whenever we changed the times, I wasn't paying attention, I guess, because I had everything still listed at Eastern Daylight Time. I think it's Eastern Standard Time now, isn't it? I don't know. I don't care. All right, so what was I going to say? Yeah, we do have some news here today. Do I have any announcements to make? No, I really don't. Nothing special going on in the world. I did post today. I spent some time yesterday on the New York dinner cruise that Hot Air Tom and I get, and some of the headaches I had. I did post that on the blog this morning, where I'm asking people to see if they think this is accessible. And hopefully some people will state in the comments if they think it's accessible or not. Of course, you guys know my thinking about it, but I have all the information that we have. So that's up on the blog, so you might want to check that out if you missed yesterday's show. All right, we'll get to the news here this morning. Oh, by the way, I should say that if you're watching via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from, all the big guys. TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Google or Apple Podcasts. I don't have Google Podcasts anymore. Amazon Music, Stitcher, any of them. All you have to do is search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and out pops the fat travel guy. So that's what's going on here. All right. By the way, the podcast numbers, despite all the ups and downs that we've had recently with missing shows and doing unscheduled shows, my podcast numbers keep going up, which is just outstanding. I mean, we're having, a couple thousand people every day are listening via the podcast. So that's just terrific. And I do appreciate each and every one of you that are here with me for that. So, all right. So before, did I tell you? Oh, I didn't tell you. Today's National Fried Scallop Day. This one's just for Hot Air Tom. Yeah, we had a lovely meal when we were at Provincetown, and I had a lobster roll and a clam chowder, and Hot Air Tom had a lobster bisque and a fried scallops, and they were yummy. They were really good. So this day is just for Hot Air Tom. He has been known to eat fried scallops. Maybe he'll go out and get some tonight. Who knows? All right. I'll be back with some news after a quick break from one of our fine network sponsors. And I do apologize, folks, for not getting stuff loaded up this morning from other people. I will catch up on some of that tomorrow. Anyway, we'll get on with the show for today. Here's some good news for the cruise community. As the International Longshoremen's Association officially began its strike yesterday, the union has promised passenger cruise operations will continue as planned, easing the minds of eager travelers hoping their cruises will still depart as scheduled from U.S. Atlantic and Gulf Coast ports. The strike, which stems from unresolved labor negotiations, affects approximately 85,000 dock workers and has shut down operations at major cargo ports from Maine to Texas, affecting the movement of goods such as furniture, autos, and essential food imports. Passengers embarking on cruises from ports like New York, Miami, and New Orleans can expect no delays or cancellations related to the strike. The long-delayed start for the Via V Residency Odyssey multi-year world cruise finally arrived on Monday, but was yet another twist in the tale for the cruise guests. Cruise guests are content to be on the ship enjoying their first day at sea. It anchored just off the coast near Bangor in Belfast Lough. In an update to local media, Via V CEO Mike Pedersen said the ship may briefly return to the shipyard in Belfast before it finally cruises around the world. The delay results into the technical explanation of a minuscule deflection deviation on the hull that has been present since the ship was built 30 years ago. From these folks, it's saying just a paperwork snafu. I don't know. As of just a few minutes ago, the ship was still in port. A miniature deflection on the deviation of the hull? That sounds like some real BS to me. Just saying. Why not join me on the MSC Grandiosa cruise from Port Canaveral, Florida on February the 14th, 2026. It's 8 days and 7 nights with stops in Nassau, Ocean Key Marine Reserve, and Puerto Plata. The nice thing about this cruise, it'll be my first chance to be on the Grandiosa. That's one thing, but it's also has excellent pricing. Our prices start at $588 per person, including taxes and port charges. Solo prices start at $738, or if you're solo, the package with drinks and Wi-Fi is only $1,052, including taxes and port charges. Dynamite prices on the MSC Grandiosa sailing February 14th, 2026 from Port Canaveral. Call me 434-258-9264, and we'll see you on the Grandiosa. The next story comes by way of Amigo John up in Crookston, Minnesota. All right, so here's the law with traveling with CBD or cannabis-infused products. Marijuana and certain cannabis-infused products, including some combustible oil remain illegal under federal law, except for products that contain no more than 0.3% THC on a dry weight basis, or that are approved by the FDA. Now, that's the actual law that affects this. We know, folks, that that does not apply to cruise lines. Cruise lines do not allow it, period. Now, here's a situation from JFK Airport in New York. Casey, that's Amigo John's business partner, and his wife were returning from visiting her family in the Dominican Republic. Casey was carrying some federally legal mints that are labeled with hemp-derived and that they have less than the maximum THC allowed by the government and the TSA. In JFK, New York, they inspected his carry-on, found a metal box, original container, properly labeled. The TSA confiscated the product and said they were not legal in federal airspace. They were not nice. And they, on purpose, delayed Casey and his wife so that they would miss their flight. The next flight to Minnesota is 7 hours later, and then they will not be in Minneapolis in time to catch the flight home. So they were vengeful and ignoring federal law. Very sad, but here's the caution, folks. If you're going through JFK, don't even try it, because they're liable to confiscate it. And even though Casey and his wife were in the right, you can't argue with these people. They're going to take it, folks. Don't start the argument or you'll have even more trouble on your hands. My suggestion, folks, until this finally gets straightened out, is not to try traveling with it. I don't. I use it here at home, but I do not take it when I'm going on airplanes. I do not take it, of course, on a cruise ship. I know that's what's going to happen there. I didn't even take it traveling this last week on the train. I just didn't want to take a chance on losing the product. So I'll leave it at home. I use it when I'm here. Norwegian Cruise Line announced several changes yesterday that included better all-inclusive options, and all of their specialty restaurants are going back to a flat cover charge. Starting on January 1st, NCL's Free at Sea will become More at Sea and offer more value than ever before. Guests sailing on cruises 7 days or longer will receive more nights of specialty dining. They will also be able to enjoy more appetizers and desserts, with up to 3 of each included at each sitting. All guests in the stateroom will also receive a dedicated login for 150 minutes of Starlink Wi-Fi each. More at Sea will also feature an expanded offering of guest favorite amenities to enjoy. This includes an extensive variety of globally sourced and recognized premium beverage brands across every spirit category, such as Grey Goose vodka or Casamigos tequila, Woodland Reserve bourbon, I like Woodland Reserve, and many more. Still included in the package will be the $50 credit per shore excursion for the first guest, free airfare for the second guest, as well as third and fourth guests sail free on select cruises. In addition, specialty dining on Norwegian cruise ships will move from an a la carte pricing to a flat cover charge for cruises that depart on or after January 1st, 2025. The cruise line said that they are making this change due to feedback from guests. Five Carnival cruise ships with itineraries in early 2025 and 2026 are now getting itinerary adjustments for various ports of call in the Bahamas. Some ports are replaced, others have modified times, some visit orders are changed, other slight shifts may be made. The 5 ships are impacted are Carnival Freedom, Carnival Magic, Carnival Sunrise, Carnival Pride, and Carnival Spirit. In total, 11 voyages are adjusted in the latest round of relatively small changes. If you are booked on any of these from February 2nd on through March of 2026, check with your travel advisor to see if yours is one that had the minor adjustment applied. Carnival Cruise Line gave a warm welcome and big applause to the Littoral family as they stepped onto the Carnival Valor yesterday. Turns out the family, traveling from the home port of New Orleans on a 5-night journey to the Caribbean, included in the 2,980 passenger ship's 7 millionth guest since Carnival began sailing year-round from the Louisiana port in 1994. 7 million guests sailing Carnival from New Orleans. Pretty cool number. The family, comprised of Thomas and Julie Littoral, and their children Zachary and Zoe, were welcomed on board by Carnival Valor's captain Antonio Matafiari and the ship's crew, who celebrated the occasion with an impromptu ceremony. 12-year-old Zachary also received his diamond status. So a big day for the Littorals and for Carnival. Congratulations to all. The embarkation process for the next cruise on board Royal Caribbean's Anthem of the Seas was delayed, but guests can rest assured that the extra weight was minimal and won't impact their cruise beyond the boarding process. The voyage in question was a round-trip 8-night sailing out of Southampton that was due to set sail today. The itinerary calls for stops in Vigo, Spain, Lisbon, Portugal, Bilbao, Spain, and La Coruna, Spain. Embarkation began 30 minutes later than planned, starting around 12 p.m. local time instead of 11:30 a.m. to allow for routine maintenance and cleaning. It's unclear what specifically was accomplished in that half hour, but sometimes the crew on board need extra time to complete more complex cleaning jobs or routine checks of equipment on board. Anyway, she sailed, and it shouldn't affect the rest of the cruise at all.
Introducing the Model R 4-wheel urban mobility scooter with a small turning radius and rotating front wheels. Wheel allows you to effortlessly maneuver in tight spaces. The 4-wheel Model R with exceptional stability and comfort. The Model R automatically adjusts speeds during turns.
Slim and compact design. The Will Model R has a reliable all-day driving range and a portable lightweight battery for charging. You can navigate tight indoor spaces like restaurants. Model R has easy disassembly and convenient storage. She can conquer urban terrain and rough surfaces with ease. Durable frame built with high-strength aluminum, stabilizer and suspension provide stability with a spacious flat floor design. Wherever you use your Will Model R 4-wheel scooter, you'll have a smooth ride. All right, that's the Will Model R. Just give us a call. We'll be glad to take care of that And don't forget the sales going on at Scooter Round. Just call them. You got sales in a bunch of places. All right, that's going to wrap up the news portion of today's show. Let's go see who's in the chat room fussing at me today. There, Steve says good morning to everybody. Joanne is with us. Gretchen's with us out in Ohio. How nice, you can nap. Yeah, I did too. Good morning from Jacksonville. Hey, Roger. Kenneth says a good morning to everybody. Speaking of the cruise doctor trip, did anybody see the TV show on ABC, Dr. Odyssey, the cruise doctor? I did not. I don't know if anybody else did. I haven't heard anything about it. Bob's with us. Have a great day. Thank you very much. Mike's with us from the other side of the pond. Hey, Mike. Todd's here. Good to see you, Todd. There's Hot Air Tom. Hello, everyone. And hello, Chillie and the gang. And he says, oops, a repeat. And Emily says, hey. And I asked, what did I repeat? And he said, the CBD story. And the CDB, whatever it is, the code story, and it's CBD. John just sent it to me this morning because Casey just got back yesterday. So I don't know what I repeated. Anyway, Katie's here. Good morning, Katie. Jimmy's with us. Hey, Jimmy says good morning to everybody. Katie said hello. Emily said hello to Katie and welcome again, Jimmy. Roger says if you have Hulu, you can catch episode 1. I'll have to confer with Amanda on that. She's the one with Hulu. I think she can give me the codes to get it on my TV. I don't know. I don't do any of those wacky things. I know, I'm old fashioned. But yeah, I will check with her on that. I heard the story twice that showed, did my ear to the phone in doctor office do a rewind? Wait a minute. I don't think. Chillie, did you get any damage from hurricane? No, we just had some lots of rain, but no damage here. Katie said she saw the first episode to answer Roger's question. Now I got to go back and see what the heck Hot Air Tom is talking about. So I got to go back to the broadcast, do that on brand, and I'll see if I put it in twice. Strike, Odyssey, CBD, NCL, Carnival, 7 mil, Anthem, and the ad. Nope. It's not in there twice. And I could have taped it on the end of another taping. I don't know, Hot Air Tom. If you say so, I'll have to go back and listen. So, nothing here repeated, I don't think. Thank you, Gretchen. Probably Hot Air Tom took a bottle of vodka to the breakfast table this morning and had a couple screwdrivers with his breakfast before Cindy hit him over the head with a frying pan. That's probably what happened. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. Same time, same schedule. Tomorrow, I do have to go for a MRI, but not till late in the afternoon. I'll miss dinner, or at least I'll be late for dinner. I'm not looking forward to it. I do not do well in MRIs. I'll tell you that up front because I'm too claustrophobic. But it has to be done. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I'll be back same channel tomorrow. Don't forget, smash that thumbs up button. That'll help the channel out. If you have not subscribed, please consider doing so. That'll help us out a lot. In the meantime, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry, so if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.